My feet stink.
Your feet stink.
Yeah, you smell them.
Did you get that, Chris?
Did he get those feet stink?
Yeah. And he
Well,
went,
the
oh,
smell
let me
equation
get
doesn't
closer
really
and
work.
sniff them. It's like when you scratch your ass. Does anybody ever you scratch your ass and you just go? Anyone else do
Just
that?
give it a quick whiff.
Yeah. I know I did it as a kid, all the time.
Yeah.
No, I shouldn't. It's dirty.
Ball sweat's much more appreciative, you know.
Yeah.
Ball sweat's alright. I kind of like the smell of ball sweat. It's alright.
Well, you're right, obviously, I assume.
Well, I don't go around here. Here, lads.
I don't know, Chris.
I'm Chris. We haven't been properly introduced, but if I could just get a handful of your ball sweat, that would be great. Just that would take me through the next couple of hours.
They were discussing yesterday on the radio the phenomena that is what's it called when men spread their legs on tube trains. It's,
Man spread.
That's
comfort.
it. Man. I've never heard of this before.
This is
man
new on me
spread.
too.
I mean, you know it. There probably hasn't been a word for it. The word is new, but you know what they mean when, you know when men sit with their legs apart.
No.
No.
See, I don't know it now.
No, I'm not friends with many
Because
gangsters.
I don't either. And I use
I
the
do.
term today. I bet you fucking do.
Yeah, but you probably have a whole fucking carriage for yourself, Rich.
I'll try to
guy.
be
Here comes that. Look at the fucking size of him.
The way he
Jesus
looks,
Christ.
people get on and they go, "Oh no, it's a tramp," and they get off.
Let
the
him spread. Let him spread.
A lot of people
Fucking
do
hell.
move down to the next carriage, yeah. It's quite convenient, really.
First thing I think is man spread is Alan Partridge when his cocks fell out of his shorts and Alan Partridge is sat on bed. You've come away from your short lining, Alan. Anyway,
Yeah, that's happened us all too. Fucking holiday in Spain. You've got the shorts that you thought were, well covered, and you're sitting there, and there's a girl across the way from you just starts giggling. You're laughing out loud.
did you ever have swimming? Did you have swimming lessons at school? That's all.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Did anybody ever forget their swimming kit and they made them do it in a pair of see-through white pea shorts?
No. You just never let that kid into the pool.
No, you just sat it out.
Yeah, he sat on the side. That was it. Fucking idiot. It was always the same kid that made sure he didn't leave the house without it, so he didn't have to go swimming. It was always the same kid every week sat at the side and went, "It was Mummy's fault. She didn't fucking pack it or whatever." I fucking hate swimming though.
Oh yeah, I fucking quite enjoy it.
Never liked it. Couple of bad experiences when I was younger, and then they
I just got thrown in the deep end and told to survive, basically. That's how I was taught to swim.
So you thought you'd grow to 6'6"?
I sneaked off the deep end anyway, but
That's how it happened. You went, well, fuck this. I got to do something about this. Are there any small children I can eat?
yeah, cheers, guys.
No, it's a defining characteristic of you, Rich. It's
Well, I'm big.
you're a big guy.
Yeah, I know.
Some people are short.
Yeah,
If they're
short
a woman
men
and they're
sometimes.
short, and there's a good chance I'd be attracted to them. It's just the way it goes.
I've got fond memories at school swimming when we had like a specialist games class. All cool kids got into it. They were good at fucking rugby and stuff like that. And then there were me and my mate. We were just shit at sports. We weren't shit, but we didn't fit with games teachers. So they set this other kind of PE class up where you got to do canoeing and stuff like that. And which I learned canoeing in the swimming baths.
Canoeing's
And
fucking class. Though.
And I've got fond memories of sinking an unsinkable canoe in 10-foot deep end. This fucking canoe was just sat there in deep end at swimming pool. And the teachers going fucking bananas. It was like, how are we going to get that?
How do you
Exactly.
sink a canoe in a swimming pool? I really am interested.
It's got like one. This unsinkable one's got like it's one end's higher than the other end, so it's supposed to be impossible. But if you press it down, if you sit on both, it's quite easy to sink it. So
It's like turning the key at the same time, launch the nuclear missile. Right, you jump on that side, I jump on that side. We'll do it simultaneously. Fourth time round, you got it. Okay, I love those challenges. Yeah, this is child-proof. This particular item is child-proof. Give it to a child, we'll have it wrecked within about 45 seconds. And it doesn't matter what the fuck it is. Like shatter-resistant rulers. Or by fuck are they shatter-resistant? I seen somebody just take one and smash one round the back of his mate's head, and it went into smithereens. It's just not a problem. I didn't need to throw him out of class. I don't know. I was like, just do your work. What a terrible comeback. I don't know. Talking about sports. Dan, what do you think of the Super Bowl?
I heard about the very last second they were passing to someone and then someone else, and there was an interception, and it was really exciting.
I tell you, Dan, this is impressive. I am actually properly impressed. You
I
got
am
the
as
right
well,
terminology there. That was
And
better than an American.
It was either a super failure or a super success, wasn't it?
Well, it depends what side of the fence
yeah,
you're on.
depends which team you're on.
Yeah, Christian, was it a super failure or was it a super success?
It was a
Give me the
super,
details of exactly what happened.
it was a super success, but it was a hollow success. The Seattle, all they had to do was basically run the ball across the line and give it to their huge man, who would give it to him. He'll just bulldoze his way across the line.
Yeah, the man that's unstoppable from 1 yard out.
He's unstoppable in it.
It's
And
unstoppable from about fucking 20. This is the best part.
it's not even like a 99% chance they're going to do it. It's 100 out of 100 times you do it every single time. But this, I think
And
they
it's
tried
3
getting a
downs
bit
to do it.
too
Like, it
few.
wasn't as if it was, you
Well,
know,
yeah.
they did 3 chances to do it. They get a yard. I mean, it was
So instead of running it, they threw it, and it got intercepted by New
Right.
England. They just-
And that was
that's
a really
it.
stupid move.
Very as stupid as it's possible to get.
The stupidest call in Super Bowl history and possibly all of American football ever.
It
It
is
is.
absolutely insane. To be
The
fair, though,
commentators were aghast when they were just like, "Up,
oh,
everybody's
I couldn't
open
believe it. I
mouth."
couldn't believe it when he threw it either. I was like, well, this
It's
game's
like,
over.
well,
Just give it to
standards.
Blinks.
I see.
To be fair, though, it's a hell of a play by Butler. Because he really just runs straight from the snap of the ball forward into that space. If he doesn't do that from the start, it's an easy touchdown. But as he says himself, he just had a wee feeling that he should just be there. And he just started making a beeline for that spot just to across the plane.
But if he catches it, if
Yeah.
Pete Carroll, their coach, Seattle's coach, calls it, and if it comes off, he's like, "Oh, he's a genius." They'd have been expecting them to run it, and he's
That is
just thrown it. Nobody, but it's not come off, has it? It's like that's kind of stupid thing Belichick could usually do. But,
But to be fair, Belichick stuff
But the
usually
thing is, though,
comes off.
you waste 100% chance for the 50-50 chance.
Yeah.
And you get the 50-50 chance, you're still a genius.
Well,
Yeah.
it's like it's ego then, isn't it? It's about I can win this the easy way,
I
or
can do this
I
any way I
get
want.
people proclaiming that I'm a genius, and they go for the genius bit, and then it fails, and then they go fuck.
I think he still would have been called an idiot even if it had come off.
yeah,
It's the biggest game in the world. It's the biggest game of most of those
Taking a
players'
risk,
careers. And why take the risk?
yeah. It's supposed to, it's a bit like when you take a stupid penalty when you dink it over a keeper instead of blasting it. It's that kind of thing.
Someone-
Even
was
if it comes off, you still
The
say, "What an
Leicester
idiot."
one years ago, was it Mark Kermorgant and
Oh, Jan Kermigan.
Jan Kermorgant?
Yeah.
Oh Jesus, the song
Yeah, the song is
it
genius.
was absolutely brilliant. It was a total eclipse of the heart, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I'll have to find it. I might make it the fucking outro music for the song. That was so great. He did one of those ones. He tried to chip it round the middle, and oh, that's fucking.
was a
I remember
playoff
watching that
semi-final, wasn't
live. What's that? Sorry.
Is it playoff semi-final?
Playoff semi-final it was. I remember watching it live and going, "What a tit!" And
I remember
'cause he
laughing my head
did,
off.
yeah.
Mm.
Great other sporting memories. I don't know. Other sporting feels. Well, there was the perfect game in what do you call it in baseball. So a perfect game is when the 27 people come up the plate and 27 sit back down. Nobody reaches base at all. Nobody gets walked or anything. They either get strikeout or whatever. And there was Andres Galarraga was for the Detroit Tigers.
Yeah.
Last out. Game over with the think, and then the umpire was at first base, called the guy safe, and he wasn't even close to being safe. He didn't
He was,
get
he was
anywhere
about
near the
his
bit.
foot out, wasn't he? It was like he
Oh.
hadn't even taken the final step before he hit the
'Cause
bag.
normally when they hit the bag, they call it a bang bang play. So the two things happen at the same time, and usually the umpire will side. It usually always was with the pitcher anyway, but this one wasn't even close. Oh no, Jesus! The place
You
just
had
went
the,
absolutely bonkers.
There was a Chris Sale one about 2-3 years ago as well, where the guy got called out on a strike that was about 2 foot outside the outside the plate. The catcher dropped it and just assumed it was a walk.
Ah,
And they'd blown it, and the batsman dropped it, assumed it was a walk, didn't realise the umpire hadn't called him out
and he
or
ran the
called
first
the
base.
walk. And they just chucked that first base.
And
Anyone-
hit him.
Yeah, the pitch was a good foot off the plate at least.
Anyone watching YouTube at the moment can see me and Dan. Our faces are like, "What the fuck are they talking about?"
Baseball? Does your American sport begin and end with the gridiron?
Yeah. I should like it because I love the statistics of it. That's my favourite bit. So I should love baseball. Yeah.
Baseball is just all statistics. In fact, if you're ever going to get into it, you should take or start reading Baseball Prospectus. right?
Oh
Right.
God.
.com, and sweet Jesus, you will watch that game in a
Sabermetrics and all
whole
that.
new way of watching that game.
All right.
Going, you idiot! What are you hitting it for? It's absolutely bizarre. No,
Yeah.
honestly,
But
I don't know
what
about
Moneyball was
you.
based on, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's right. That's the Billy Bean thing. So you were all right. You were off all week, weren't you, Rich?
Yes, I am. Yeah, I'm full
Yeah,
week.
you've been off all week. I had to go to work on Monday. Had you to work on Monday, Christian?
Yep.
Fuck, I was in bed at 4:30. It was a late one. It was a real late one, that Super Bowl, like it really was.
And worse than that, before I just got in, before I watched the Super Bowl, I'd just done like a 9-hour drive to get up to Scotland where I work. So I'd driven for 9 hours, stayed up till 4 o'clock to watch Super Bowl, then got up at 7 for work. I'm fucking like near death.
See, I had the
And
problem
then
with Red Bull at about, I think it was the start of the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
And that kicked in about a minute left in the game. So I was up for the next hour. I didn't get to bed till nearly 5 o'clock.
Well, it's funny we
I-
should... Go on, sorry.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
It's funny you should talk about that because I want to ask Dan. I've got a caffeine addiction, I think. Well, not so much an addiction, but I chose a couple of days ago. I thought, right, I'm going to stop drinking caffeine in tea because I have like at least 10 cups of tea every day, and I've done that for like 25 years.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, right, I'll just cut it out. So
Yeah.
instead of just phasing it out gradually, I went cold turkey, and I was like rented in train spotting. I was fucking, they should be like locked in a room, like rattling, like fucking rattling in the corner. I don't know if it triggered a migraine or what. I was really ill, and I know it can cause like bad headaches and stuff like that.
Yes, it can.
So I don't know if it was just a coincidence, so that's really how ill it made me feel.
That's
Oh,
that's a good point, Christian. Caffeine is often included in migraine medicines that you can buy over the counter, things like Migraleave and stuff like that. Whether or not they work is debatable, and so whether or not the lack of caffeine brought on a migraine is also debatable. But I wouldn't be surprised if you could go back with the time machine and examine the molecules in your brain and find out that the lack of caffeine had caused something there. It's still a bit equivocal, though, unfortunately.
Yeah, I'll have to try again. I'll try another day when I'm not at work because it's dreadful. I'm thinking this is a really bad idea.
You're going to feel shit when you stop any addictive substance, caffeine, nicotine, alcohol, anything like that. So,
I'll phase it out gradually then. Thank you, Doctor.
yeah, phase it out.
Oh dear. No, I didn't even do a bet on the Super Bowl this year. Normally I have an MVP bet, but I've given that up the past couple of years.
I normally go for the stupid spot bets. They do. So, like, how long does the national anthem sing a whole one of the notes?
Yeah,
And
yeah,
the best one I saw is Bill Belichick's hoodie going to be cut off at the sleeves or not?
yeah. No, there was one year, because they always usually do. The MVP usually goes to the winning quarterback. I'm surprised it did this year. But I always usually have a wee spot bet on one of the DBs. I usually think the DBs are a pretty good shout. So I had Rodney Harrison the year that he was fucking beat out of it. Like, I don't believe it. He had 2 interceptions, a sack, and God knows how many tackles, and he didn't win
Yeah,
the
but
MVP.
defensive player's never going to win it.
Oh, jeez, that was a rage in that year. He was the one made the last interception for a 3-point win. Like at the very end again, it was like, surely I was celebrating my money. It was 65-1 or something stupid. I was like, happy days. Kneeled down and fucking Dion Branch got it for the number of receptions. Was it 11 receptions or something he had in that game? And I was like,
Well, have you heard the rumor about Pete Carroll's final call though?
what?
Apparently,
His
he
call?
called. Well, no, it's rumored that he called it so Russell Wilson would have been the MVP and not Marshall.
Oh,
Because Lynch would have been nailed on because he'd have had 2 touchdowns, 140 yards, or whatever it was.
yeah, yeah.
Whereas if Wilson has the extra touchdown, he's probably going to win it.
That
There's
was
a
a
bit
good
of
call,
conspiracy
wasn't it?
about that, but it sounds like absolute garbage to me.
Well, no, I heard that it wasn't in Carroll's call. It was the offensive coordinator's call, and then he just took the fall for it. At the end.
Tinfoil hat time. Conspiracy theory.
Yeah, although that team will never be the same. They've lost their
That's
magic
it.
now. You know what I mean?
Them destroyed.
Sport's a funny thing. The belief in the coach will have gone. Just that 5% is all it needs at that kind of level, I think. And it's like
Fine
Richard Sherman's
margin.
face. Oh fuck me!
That's my greatest memory from that game because I can't stand
Greatest
it.
things. Oh my god! Anybody who doesn't even know about American football, just that guy's face at the last second.
Especially the way he's been carrying on all season, the way he does. It's
Yeah, I suppose it's,
so.
it's
What
karma.
about the? It is karma. Karma Place. What about the national anthem and the halftime show then? What ratings out of 10?
National anthem was fairly dull. I can't remember
Yeah, I thought it were
it.
quite poor. Yeah,
It was John Legend, was it? The national anthem?
No, he did.
No,
God
he
Bless
did the thing for
America.
God Bless America before that.
yeah,
His was
he
quite
did
a
good.
wee tinkle.
I
It
thought
was
his
Bird
was
Out of
quite good.
Frozen.
Oh, yes, it was a Dana Menzel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the name of it.
You're not good enough looking. However, halftime show was great.
The halftime show
Oh.
was shocking.
It was shocking.
You're wrong.
It was hilarious, but it was bad.
That's it. What was really bad about it was when Missy Elliott came on and Katy
That's
Perry.
the best bit.
How she had to bounce about in one fucking foot from side to side. That was really funny. Going, hello!
That's the best bit of music, anyway, other than fireworks.
I know,
It
what
was
is it
just-
about firework?
It's a good
Something about that
tune.
song. It's a great tune,
It's
isn't it?
catchy.
Yes.
Is it
But,
because it's in Madagascar 3? Is that? I think that's why it's great as well.
Not seen it, so.
I've never seen Madagascar 3. You should
No,
watch
I've never seen Madagascar 2.
It's magnificent.
I didn't realise it was a third one.
Oh, the third one's magnificent. I was dancing. I remember dancing at the cinema to that one. It was fucking great. I like to move it, move it, move it.
Oh yeah.
Great. You should watch Madagascar 3. There's my movie recommendation of the year. My gosh, Madagascar 3 is fantastic. Sorry.
See, I don't understand what I can understand why they mime in these halftime shows. So don't fuck it up, but you know, it's she looked so shit miming. It just didn't look right, did it?
Time with it at points.
Yeah, miming out of key. it's
It's
but
impressive.
ironically, my favourite Super Bowl national anthem is Whitney Houston, and I've got a. Every time I watch Super Bowl, just before it comes on, I always watch that YouTube video of Whitney Houston singing national anthem. I just love it. But she mimed that bizarrely. I'm
Right.
pretty sure. Yeah, I'm pretty sure she mimed it. I read it somewhere once. Yeah, obviously to her, she'd sung it the same day or day before.
She was a hell of a singer, like.
Belting. But that's if you've not seen that, people, go and have a look at that. It's Whitney Houston's national anthem at Super
Fucking,
Bowl.
we're gonna have to change this end song. No, you're not beating that Young Kermorgant's one. I mean, it may be good, but Jesus,
Yeah,
it's not.
great.
It's not gonna knock it off. So that was my week. Absolutely, completely screwed. 2 hours sleep, into work. Actually, driving home was one of those. You know those drives where the sun's come down and it's cleaning your eyes the whole way home, and you're like, oh shit. I can't see at the best times. I'm falling asleep. I'm trying to drive with one eye open and one eye shut, and trying to alternate so that I can kind of smack myself awake every now and again. Put the window down, put the window up. Oh fuck, it was a nightmare.
It's hardly worth going to bed, is it, at that time? My
Yeah, that's true.
a relative had a friend in the 70s, and they used to go out and piss all the time. And he once came home that late in the morning. He sat on his bed, took his shoes off. His wife woke up. He thought, shit, she knows I've been out all night. Put his shoes back on and made it. He just got up for work, and he was just going straight back out to work again. It's legendary.
That is quite good. So, I don't know. What else somebody else be doing? Dan,
Yes.
tell me.
Okay, what do you want me to talk about? Got a little bit of telly.
We
Started
tell me
a
what
new-
have you been watching?
I've been watching Lilyhammer. So,
Ah,
can you tell you
Watched
what episode of... Say again?
I watched 2 episodes of it maybe at the start.
Right.
It's kind of kooky.
Okay.
It definitely is kooky, like.
It's a little bit strange. Your camera's gone funny there, Chris. There you go.
It's just over.
I don't really know what is going on with this show. So it's about a mobster who he gives evidence in a trial to put another mobster away, and they put him in witness protection, but they send him to Lillehammer in Norway, where they had the Winter Olympics, at his own request, because he's kind of enamoured with this place. And he starts a new life there, and of course he's a bit of a gangster, a wise guy, so he starts doing gangster wise guy kind of things. And the story is about his adventures doing gangster things in a non-gangstery type place, and all about the strangeness of these weird Norwegian people. And I don't think Norwegian people are really like this. We'll have to ask Marius, I suppose. But I don't really know what the show wants. Is it a comedy? Is it a black comedy? Is it commentary on racism or anti-immigration feeling or something like that? I don't really know. It bounces between light-hearted, dark. The main gangster character is supposed to be likable, sort of a bit rough around the edges, likable guy, but a few times he's a bit of a twat, and you think, I don't know. But it's recently started to get quite dark. There has been a death, which seems to be quite serious, and the plot is moving towards you wouldn't be surprised that this would eventually happen. But I won't give away any spoilers. It's just a continuation of what is really going to happen. So I don't really know what to think about it. I can't binge on it. One episode is enough at a time. It's all right, but it's not what I got Netflix for. It's just I was looking for something on Netflix, and that happened to come up.
There's loads of good stuff on Netflix now, although TV's so subjective that what I think's magic, you might think's a bit meh.
Exactly.
Whatever.
Yeah. I mean, if you started, Chris, carry on and see what you think. Get a few episodes in.
I thought it was okay. I thought it was kind of different and
different. Yeah.
But his face, I kind of felt it was a bit too caricature-y,
He's very caricature-y, yeah.
And that grated me a little bit, but I didn't know what else to make. Oh, they've just added 5 seasons of Community. Awesome.
Well, I saw that today. I don't know what it is, but
I've watched a good lot of Community. Half the first series, and it's really funny. Anything with Chevy Chase and it works. It's really good. So yeah, you should maybe give that if you're looking for something a comic tilt.
Okay.
Give that a little look, and if not, want some drama, go for The Good Wife. I definitely think Good Wife's super underappreciated. I don't know. What you said you were reading a book though? A book?
Yes.
Is it?
I just started a book.
Was it the wolf one? What do you call it? The Jack.
By Jack London, Call of the Wild? No, White Fang?
White Fang, that's the other
It's
one.
White Fang. Yes.
White Fang.
Yes. No, it's not that. I haven't
It's
really
not that?
read.
Oh.
No, I've read White Fang 2 or 3 times.
Yeah, that was your every couple of years you read White Fang kind of book.
I do, yeah.
So
It's a fantastic book. If no one's read White Fang by Jack London, and it's nothing like that shitty film.
The Grey, which is what I was thinking.
Yeah, it's an amazing book, and the wolf is the central character, so he tells the story from the wolf's perspective. So, I mean, what I picked up. Now, I bought this in the charity shop. As you can see, it's by Adam Smith. It's The Wealth of Nations, or its full title is
Penguin's Classics.
Yeah, an inquiry into the nature and causes of the wealth of nations, or something like that. Most of you will have heard of this. If you haven't, look on the back of your £20 notes. It's got a scene from the book, and it talks about the division of labour, which is in chapter 1, and pin manufacturing. So it's published 1776. It's a very, 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 very early economics book. Probably forms the foundation of the science that we now call economics. Worth a go.
Lord of the Rings.
Say again?
With a sold out of Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, that's right. Something like that. I think it's a coin. It's a coin. Smith talks about coins in here. It's worth a read. It's quite archaic language, but if you can dig into it, find it for cheap or anything like that. I found that for £1 in a charity shop, I think. And it sat in my pigeonhole.
Must have lit up, Don.
Oh, they did. I mean, I've heard of this book. It's a famous work. Obviously, he's recognised on the back of our money. He's got to be quite an influential person, and he obviously has been. And it sat in my pigeonhole at work for 2 or 3 years, and I was just clearing it out the other day and found it and thought, oh shit, maybe I'll read that. So I started reading The Wealth of Nations.
Is it behind all the porn mags?
Yeah, that's right. Behind all the poor mags and those 2 years of pay slips that I've never opened.
I don't know who the hell opens pay slips. I mean, except you go looking for one, you're like, for fuck's
Exactly,
sake.
like, why haven't they paid me? Or, oh shit, it's the end of the year type thing. Yeah.
So is it textbooky? Is it?
It's textbook, yeah. It's a treatise. I would call it science, but it's not modern science in the way we know it. It's very much like an essay rather than a scientific exposition. He doesn't present any data or anything like that. He just describes things. And, looking at it from a modern scientific mind, you think, where is his data? But then, of course, whatever data he gathered, they're kind of it's very descriptive. He doesn't give you numbers, tables, charts, and graphs and stuff because that sort of science didn't exist at the time. The science of statistics. He just describes it. It's all done in prose, but it's
4 numbers.
Yeah, it's it's a non-fiction textbooky type thing.
Cool. Anybody else reading any books? The deafening silence. Silence. I've started the second Jim Butcher books, the High Dresden Wizard books. Full Moon is the second one. I'd read the first one about a year ago, maybe. And you know the authors who do those kind of single character things, like I don't know. James Patterson does Alex Cross, Patricia Cornwell does Kay Scarpetta, all those kind of ones. I can already feel it falling in. It's only the second book, but they kind of fall into a formula of those books of what's going to happen, and I feel this one happening already. So I think I might stop reading after this kind of thing. Because I like getting into the series and getting the characters, but it's not like TV series. Books tend to get very humdrum very quickly. In the same kind of mode. You can watch like 40, 50 episodes or something, and then, right, that's fine. But books, when they're writing them, seem to like be very paint by numbers after by the time they get to the fourth or the fifth one.
Yeah, you mentioned the Kay Scarpetta books. I used to love those, but then I just went off them. Have you?
Same. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's when she started having the recurring character of your man. You know, he was in an awful lot of books. The Luke Grew, the werewolf.
Oh yeah, the French guy, the werewolf.
The French guy, the werewolf guy. Yeah. He was repeating character, and that got boring. It got really boring. You know, when it was an individual case going along, that was interesting because it was something new happening. But then she tried to build some continuity up, and it was like, this is not interesting. She's still fearful of this man, like who's a freak. You know, like you can't really keep that going for so many pages.
Yeah.
So, I'd stopped reading. Maybe Blowfly was the last one I properly finished, but it's the sixth one of the series, I think.
I think I read Blowfly.
Yeah, I think
that's about it's about the same time I stopped. I think. Yeah.
Because it got very boring and stuff. I think my wife read on a wee bit further, and she just turned around and said, "No, you're as well stopping where you are, you know, and moving on to something else." But yeah, that's.
I love that. I love that character Lucy, her niece. I just love her.
Oh, the niece is crazy, isn't she? I like her.
But she was actually the real life. That's who she wanted to be in real life. I think she was sort of living out through the character allegedly. She's
because Lucy was a lesbian as well, and
Kate.
Christian Cornwell is.
That's right,
yeah. So I can see that.
But it's that's what I'm reading at the moment. I picked up another couple of things. I've been kind of going a bit audiobook mad because Audible have been starting doing these daily deals. I don't know why audiobooks are stupid dear. And then all of a sudden they're now £1 for one a day, and you're like, fuck, can I pick that up? Jesus.
What books or audiobooks?
Audiobooks.
Yeah, okay.
So, you know, what's today's, if I have a look, the girl who played with fire, normally £45, today £1.50.
Jesus.
You can have some of that, yeah.
So I'll pick that up, and I've seen the movie and all that kind of stuff already, the Danish version, but, you know, I'll pick up the audiobook. But then you look at it and go, fucking hell, it's 21 hours long.
No wonder they're charging 40 something.
21 hours? Yeah, well, it would be quite a long time to put them in. The Jim Butcher books, the high dressing one of them reading at the moment's read by James Marster, who was Spike in Buffy.
Oh yeah, I reckon.
So he's reading it. I'm not sure I like his thing because I mean, the guy who's dressing is supposed to be this kind of like very droll character, but he reads it very droll and the whole way through it, as if he's kind of bored with life the whole way through it, which is okay. But if you're listening to somebody read for 10 hours, you're going, fuck's sake, smile, sweet Jesus, pick it up a little. But yeah, that one's not too long though, which is quite good. I think it was only 9 hours or something, so that's good. That's nearly a week's worth of driving, or a week and a half, maybe a week's worth of driving, which works out quite well.
I have been reading a book actually. I totally forgot about this. I stopped reading it. It's called Low Level Hell. It's about a pilot in Vietnam. He's in the Dark Horse Air Cavalry Troop. He's like sort of a pathfinder. When you got your convoys in Vietnam, he'd have this little helicopter, and he'd be flying above them, like literally 10 feet above them, just in front of him, and he'd be looking on floor for footprints and stuff like this, and landmines and shit like this. It's insane. And he'd be first there. They'd be shooting him. In one day, he crashed 3 helicopters into the side of this same hill. There's like wreckage everywhere, and they kept getting picked up, took back for a new helicopter. Just absolutely insane job. It's fascinating seeing how they went about it. But what a job.
Vietnam, then.
Yeah, it's Vietnam, yeah. Imagine flying a helicopter and looking for footprints in mud while you're flying a helicopter through trees.
I mean, and the police are worried about people texting while driving. Oh, Christ. Yeah. I haven't catch myself doing that one. I'll just fucking driving along on a fucking motorway and going, well, I could have checked Twitter while I'm driving here.
Let's read this newspaper.
What the hell am I doing?
I've seen a few truckers do that.
Yeah.
Leaving their plate while they're driving down the road.
cruise
It's like your
control.
sat nav, though, isn't it? It's like if you program, you're not supposed to program your sat nav when you're driving, but if you want to make some slight changes to it, but even fissing about with your radio or your freaking
Yeah.
getting music on your phone or something like that, it's so easy. Then you see these horrible adverts where there's like lives ended, and you think, shit, I'm never touching anything again. But then you fucking a week later you forget about it.
I
And you're
know.
back into it again.
While you're finishing the sentence in your head, you're going, "Fucking hell! Is that what song's on next one?" And change that. It's fucking a disaster, you know.
Eventually we'll have voice activation and everything. Or do you ever have tweets and emails read out to you by your phone, or is it just so
Ah,
shit?
I should do that. I've posted using like Siri, so post to Facebook. Fuck, I don't know what I put on the other day. It's dinner time, bitch. Something like that. And I was just really testing it, and I thought, fuck, that's quite cool, you know. If I'm driving along and
Yeah.
you know, say you were about to die, you could see the end of your life coming up ahead. You could just go, Siri, post a twist, post to Facebook, YOLO.
BRB. Shit.
Yeah, BRB, YOLO, BRB, yeah. Hope the fucker come back as a fraud. Something along those lines. Yeah, that'd be
Do you
quite
ever
handy.
wonder if it's a bit of a morbid subject, but if you did die, I'm sure we've
we're
all
gonna
got
die,
loads.
we're gonna die.
If you say you did die,
When?
when yeah, and you've got all these online friends, how would your missus think? Oh, I'll just go online and tell everybody that he's died. Or it's not the kind of thing somebody would do, is it? So you've got all these friends that they've no idea that you've died. If you know what I mean, it's a bit of a strange one, isn't it? I've been in plenty of. I've had plenty of forums where I've been, and there's been someone's died and somebody has done that, like a
Yeah.
few weeks later, and it's been
Yeah,
like
I've
really
seen
sad, like. But,
I've had that
Yes.
happen quite a bit, and I remember these things happening, and like sitting on the computer just reading it, and absolute floods of tears,
yeah.
going fucking hell, this has really hit me.
Mm.
Like,
The
I
thing is that you
remember-
say if someone that you're close to does die, and they've got the Facebook and the Twitter and everything else, what do? You leave them on there?
Yeah.
Forget about it, or
Facebook allows you to convert the page to a memorial, I think, if you tell them that the person's died.
properly forward thinking. But it is tough. Like for many people, they wouldn't have anybody follows that up, so they would just disappear. If you know what I mean, you'd be going,
Yeah.
fuck, I wonder what happened, Chris, or
Why is it
know.
on? Why is it not on Armour tonight?
fucking hell, this is like fuck. He must have taken that joke I said really badly last time I spoke to him, or whatever, you know.
just stop talking to them.
Yeah. I mean, it'd be a bit odd, but I have been in situations where there was a guy that I used to go to Everton matches with that I got friendly over in Everton forum with, and I hadn't spoken to him in a few years, and he'd just come on the forum, and I hadn't even keeping up with the forum as much as I did then. And he came on a couple of days ago and said, look, I'm really quite ill, and I'll probably die in the next short time, but so if I disappear, I haven't been on in a while, but I just thought like to say I thank an awful lot of people that are here and whatever. And about 3 days later, he'd arranged for his son to come on and post and say, you know, just to let you
Jesus.
know.
Bloody
Sitting there, 'cause
hell.
I knew that guy. I'd travelled over with him quite a bit, but not maybe in about 5-6 years. And I was like, fuck, that is really cutting, like, that's happened. Or I think this is getting really morbid, but on the Everton forum as well, there was a guy posted on the Boxing Day about his Christmas, and he'd said, you know, the kids were up in bed on Christmas Eve, and his wife went upstairs checking the kids and get changed into their jammies before they started doing Santa stuff. And she didn't come down for about 20 minutes, went up to check on her upstairs, and she was dead in the bathroom.
Oh my
Jeez.
god.
Like a massive stroke or whatever. She was telling us, and going, you know, about his pain and suffering over the Christmas, having to wake the kids up in the middle of their sleep, you know, on Christmas Eve night when they should have been waking up for fucking Santa and all, and just completely ruined.
Fucking
But
hell.
somebody in the forum had then went and contacted Everton to say what had happened, you know, and they'd come to him and said, you know, whenever you're ready, we'd love to have you and your family down and to meet everybody and, you know, to give you something to look forward to, but whenever you're ready, please get in contact and stuff. And people really rallied around him. I mean, the posts and the condolences went on for like nearly a full page of a forum. And I just think, like, that's, you know, there's a real community there that most of the world doesn't see. Do you know what I mean? We kind of live in this little bubble as gamers where this has become very commonplace in our lives, and there's certain other communities around the world, but my wife would not be part or be privy to anything like that in their life. And
Yeah.
I know my parents often look at it and go, "What the hell? Like, why are you going over to meet a whole load of people you barely know? You know, in Birmingham or London or whatever?" And you go, "But I do know them quite well." You know what I mean? And they were going, "You couldn't know them. I mean, you've talked to them, but you don't know them." And I'm like, I don't know. It's always a really weird thing meeting up with all the MLG people. You see these people once, in my case, sometimes once every 2 years.
Yeah.
And it's within 5 minutes of being back in the company again. It's like you seen them last weekend. You know, it's really, really funny feeling to have around people, that you just feel at ease around people so quickly.
It's like it's strange. There's certain people from school that I've bumped into where there's like one or two where you've got that certain thing with them, and it's not strange at all. It's not difficult. You're just talking as if you saw each other last week. Yeah, most other people, fucking hell. You bump into them in the street. "Oh, what you doing? What job do you do?" Oh, just fuck off. I've got to be somewhere, mate. I'll see you later.
And then there's other people that just feel very natural around. That's yeah. And it's a funny thing in life that you have that with some people that maybe even aren't. I mean, they mightn't even be necessarily very close friends or anything, but you just have a repertoire relationship with them that kind of extends that. I don't know.
But that can happen with total strangers as well. Every now and again, you'll just meet a stranger and you just hit it off instantly. It's as if you've been friends all your life. It's just really, really easy, isn't it? It's strange.
Usually quite drunk when that happens, but it's just like
That's just reminded me, talking about memorials and things. One of my favourite things ever is the Leroy Jenkins incident. When he did that, they were crashed. Did they crash a memorial? Is that what they did? Oh, is that what they crashed? There were
I
people
thought they were doing a raid. No,
They were doing a raid, weren't they?
Did they not
Guns.
raid? Was it a memorial service that they were raiding though? Was it a
I
memorial?
don't know. I never seen
I
the
don't know,
context
I
of
thought
it.
they
I've
were
seen the
raiding
video lots
some-
of times.
I thought they were in
Or
like
is
some
that-
inbox type thing, and
Yeah,
one of the guys talking through about how they're going to start it and how it's all going to go to plan. He just runs in and goes, "Leroy." Destroys it.
I'm sure they're actually raiding a memorial. I might be thinking of another one. I might think I'm getting mixed up. I'm getting my raids mixed up. Something I know nothing about. I've never even played it.
Although I had a game like that once in Dota where where we're getting quite badly beaten, but we're going to make our last stand. So sometimes you go into games and sometimes people communicate in the games and sometimes they don't. Well, this game was one where all the team were communicating. Now we were getting our ass kicked, but we thought we'll make our last stand. This is what we're going to do. So we set up our plan, and before we set about doing it, one of the guys in the team gave it the full fucking Braveheart speech. Give it the full fucking whistling Dixie. They could take it out, never take her freedom. And we went in to the fight, all they executed perfectly. And one of the heroes, Naga Siren, her ultimate ability is that she can freeze the entire team in place. So just as we were about to take the main guy out, just at the second, she hit her ultimate by mistake. Froze the whole thing, let him recover, and he just wiped out the entire team. And normally, and like the game's famous for people raging and fucking flaming and going, "You stupid fucking bastard!" Like going absolutely crazy. Everybody just couldn't stop laughing. Everybody just held down the push to talk key and just pissed themselves laughing at the whole build up to this moment. I just wish I'd recorded it. It was just so funny. You fucking balloon. That was executed perfectly. We were going to win that game. This is an hour of my life that I've wasted, but this is completely memorable, and it was just fantastic. So yeah, oh dear. Let's see. So I don't know. Did we get talking about games there roughly? I don't know. What have you been playing?
Yeah, we're going to jump in if I go.
Yeah, you'll
Go
go.
for it,
Yeah.
Well, since I've been off all week, I've been catching up with quite a few games I've missed recently. First one I picked up was Dying Light. It's quite a new one.
I know somebody else has been playing Dying Light.
Yeah.
Wasn't
So, open world, zombies, very Dead Island, which is made by the same guys.
Yeah.
Got the Assassin's Creed type, sort of parkour, free running. It feels like it's an amalgamation of some of the best sort of franchises we've had in the last 5 years.
Right. Okay.
So you've got the Assassin's Creed sort of open world running, you've got sort of Dead Island zombies, you've got the Far Cry, Ubisoft usual massive open world.
You've
all
got
the
these on the
icons.
wrong order though. Some of the best franchises we've had in the past 10 years.
Yeah, I know I've got the
Assassin's
wrong order,
Creed,
but-
Dead Island.
I
Then
really
Far
like
Cry.
Dead Island 1 and 2. I thought were absolutely superb,
No.
especially in co-op.
I thought
Full,
they
full player,
were
just having a laugh, going around slaughtering everything.
there were nice ideas, and the world that they were in was quite cool. And then it was just held up by fucking kicking people backwards, is what I found an awful lot of time. You know,
Yeah,
crowd
but there's
control.
nothing greater than kicking a zombie off of a skyscraper.
But
And
that's
then
what
just
it felt like. They're all
they're just
rushing in. You go,
urinating
I'll
it.
kick you, you, and they'll beat you to death. It was
But
good.
it's one of those games. It's filled with those sort of moments that you just want to tell people.
Yeah.
Because I had a bit. I was fighting on top of a building, and sort of 5-6 stories up, and a zombie surprised me from behind. So I sort of turn around, wallop it around the head with a police bat, and there's like a break in the wall, like behind him. So I just run up to it and drop kick him off. Get up and just look over, peer over the edge, and just watch the zombie fall head first down, about 100 feet down, land on its head explodes everywhere, and then just sort of smiled and went, "That was cool." We'll do that again.
So Dan liked then. So
Yeah,
got as far as Far Cry.
Yeah, and sort of just a lot of those sort of big sort of AAA titles we've had in the last 5 years. It still features from all of them. And the best thing about it though for me is it brings back the tension again of the zombie films.
Right. Yeah.
So like the George Romero films where someone's panicked, they're running, there's a horde chasing them, they're trying to get to safety. And when you get to the night time, these super zombies come out called volatiles. And they're quicker than you, they can jump far higher than you, jump further than you, and basically your only defense against them is a UV light or these light traps that are set up around the city. And it turns the game into a stealth game. And then the moment you spot it, it turns it into, I need to run up the tallest building I can find as quick as possible.
Fucking run. Yeah.
Nighttime
the
is
fucking
fucking
dog.
terrifying.
Yeah, the
Like,
nighttime
it
is absolutely horrendous, and I hate it, and I try and avoid it as much as possible.
It's
But
just
the game
straight to bed and yeah.
Oh, look, it's about 5 o'clock in the evening, I'll just sleep till night and then sleep till day, and we'll restart the next mission. But it's one of those games, and it brings panic and fear. And the game encourages you to go out at night because it doubles all your experience.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
So there's carrot and stick there.
Yeah, so, and then of course it sets a couple of missions at night as well, and it's scary. To be fair, it's the first time I've been scared in a video game for a
That's
couple of
me out.
years.
That's me out. I had to send back Alien Isolation. Couldn't do it.
Oh dear. I didn't find Alien Isolation that scary. It's more annoying than anything else.
Oh Jesus! No, I couldn't do it. Playing with headphones late at night in the dark. Fucked up. Couldn't do it.
Yeah, that's when I did the first nighttime mission, and I haven't done it since at night.
It's a whole different.
Day, night,
I've said
whatever
this
it was.
before, but depending how you play a game can totally impact your experience with it. You know, and I can imagine people playing Alien Isolation, and like you say, not getting anything out of it. You're not experiencing that fear and that dread of turning a corner or going into a crawl space and thinking, I'm completely fucked here. Completely fucked.
See, the problem I've got is I was desensitized to Alien at a young age. I think I watched the first one when I was about 7 or 8.
Right, okay.
And I had that sort of, that age, yeah, I was scared shitless essentially.
Yeah.
But since then, I've watched them all,
You've been
watched them
okay,
multiple times.
yeah.
I know exactly what's going to happen, and because of that, when the game came on, I knew exactly what the issues were going to be, when the alien was likely to turn up. I know it was all supposed to be not procedurally generated, but the alien was supposed to be a living creature that reacted to what you were up to. But you knew exactly sort of where it was going to appear and when it was going to try and get up behind you and stuff. So
Dan,
didn't
like
work
good
for me.
then?
Yeah, definitely. Love it.
Yeah.
Not my
Christian, what do you
favourite game of the year so far, but brilliant.
Yeah, I've really enjoyed playing it as well. I like how you can mod your weapons, like you can turn you can add things to like blowtorches to hammers and stuff like that.
Yeah. So that's where I was going, like the Dead Island, sort of stealing the best bits from that, and
Yeah,
because some of the weapons you can create, it's not crazy like Dead Rising.
yeah.
It's
I
stuff
wish
that
it
you
was a
think
bit
would
more
work.
like Dead Rising, like you can put street cones on zombies' heads and stuff like that. I love doing stuff like that and stupid
Yeah.
outfits.
Then you ruin the tension of the game, though.
Yeah, it's a bit more sensible, isn't it? Yeah.
Just a little
If you
bit.
get a mixture of the two, I think it'd be perfection. But no, first couple of nights playing that were awesome. Yeah, and I know I bought arse out of people talking about bloody breaking point mod for Arma 3, but there's been an update on that lately where you can press a key and you can you can change into a zombie. You can pretend to be a zombie, so all your body movements, you're jerking and you're running,
Ah.
you're crouching. So, see, if you've not got a gun on your back and you've got a smallish backpack on, you can be in combat, but then you can pretend to be a zombie, just come wandering around the corner, chasing people, and then you can get a horde of zombies running after you, and you can start chasing people like that bloody Benny Hill. So it's superb. And then you can snap back out of a zombie and shoot them again. It's absolutely mind blowing. It's so good, that mod. Right, enough of Breaking Point again.
I was gonna say, I was gonna do that old, and I'll interrupt you with a commercial break into the doo 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 doo.
Yeah, I was going back in and still talking about it.
Yeah, and that's
I
my report
also,
this week.
so, I also bought H1Z1. I've played it for about half an hour so far, I think. It was sort of broken, and then they mended it, then it's broken, then it's mended, and my mate bought me Nate, and he bought it as well. And then he didn't like it, so we got a refund straight away because they sort of introduced a pay-to-win element into it, and which you were too
Protest.
yeah,
Fuck those guys. Fuck Sony.
Oh, they're a free game app to win it.
So I know a free game eventually anyway, but then everybody's talked him back into buying it again. So he bought it, got a refund, and he's bought it again. When we've still not fucking played it. So it's got stupid things like it's got to stay alive by eating berries and stuff like that. There's like a survival mechanic in it.
Right.
And you got to say you pick 15 berries. You got to eat all these berries one at a time. There's no eat all berries key. So until they've fucking patched it so I can eat all, I'm refusing to play it point blank. There's one of the lads are saying, "Oh, there's loads of food in it now. There's tins of food in that," but no. Well, I'll play it when they fix that.
But it's you're saying it's broken, but armor's consistently broken.
It's consistently broken in a good way, though. It's
I was gonna say, armor players aren't exactly the high bar of people looking for no jank. That game is all jank.
It's funny. I've trained my son now. Whenever he boots up my PC, the first thing he does is update Breaking Point for me because there's an update every day. So he's started making himself useful.
It's like the dog getting your dog trained to get the newspaper. You have trained your son to update Breaking Point for you. I'm glad I had you, son.
I'm glad you're making yourself useful. When can I think I've mentioned this before. At what age can I start sending him to shops for like milk and tea bags and stuff like that? When does that come? 6.
Yeah, I was about 5 or 6 when I started doing that.
That's back in the day, though, isn't it? When I was 7, I used to go to corner shop for my grandma to fetch fucking 10 Park Drive and 20 Embassy number 1. 7-year-old, I got it shot with a note.
Given 10p to spend for yourself on whatever you wanted. And as you were leaving the house, you used to go, I'll count you. 1, 2, and then you come back in and become 56, 57, new record.
A bit further than that.
Oh, dear. So, yeah. I know, about 6. I think 6 is fine. Not really.
No.
Nah. Like my kid's near 7. She's not allowed to go to the end of the fucking street.
I know, it's terrifying, isn't it? Other games. Have anyone played the Evolve beta?
Yeah.
Played the old
briefly.
One, not the recent one.
I don't know what to get it or not.
I don't know whether.
If ever a beat has put me off buying the game, it was that.
It's definitely that one. You are right in that case. It just feels
crap.
It doesn't feel like it has any of the emergent or fun gameplay that something like Left 4 Dead would have.
This latest beat has been fixed and it's miles better. And it actually works. You can play with your friends.
Yeah.
But that when they first released it, it was a fucking mess. But yeah.
But you think what's good about Left 4 Dead, because that's what it's always marketed itself as, right? A Left 4 Dead replacement. Yeah. But Left 4 Dead, the good part is you're going along with your mates and somebody gets slightly distracted and they turn around and they go, "Oh fuck, I've been grabbed by a hunter," and they start screaming down the microphone. Now, I don't. In any of the games I've played of Evolve, and I've only played 2 or 3, that hasn't happened.
Yeah.
I've played as the monster once, and then twice as the thing, and it was just like, it feels too coordinated or too, especially as the monster just feels really boring going around and.
The problem I had with it was all the games I played of it was about 10 or 12 rounds. If the humans or the hunters didn't win in the first 10 minutes, they weren't going to win. That was it, regardless of their coordination or anything else, because the monsters got too powerful. I don't know whether or not that would change if you were playing with 3 mates who were coordinated and organised, but it was one-sided until a little tipping point, then it went to the other side, and that was it.
But strangely, the one game that I did enjoy the most, we lost.
Right.
And that went on the longest. And although we lost, I really enjoyed it. The one where we won quite quick, it was shit. But yeah. But no, I don't think I'll be buying that.
I don't know. There's so little else out that I might, but if I can, stop myself from spending money on Nintendo games. Fuck, those bastards are not cheap. Like, there's no such thing as a cheap Nintendo game.
No.
Not even the shitty ones.
I bought a GameCube about 4 years after they came out. I wanted to play like Mario Kart and catch up with like, Mario Galaxy and all that. And I was looking for Monkey Ball. So 4 or 5 years after it came out, the cheapest I could find it was 35 quid second hand in the shop.
It's fucked up.
It didn't drop in
And
price.
because they're doing such short-run prints of all these games, they're actually going out of stock. So they're going out of print all these games very, very quickly. You can see if you go and try and find Wind Waker HD or anything, right? It's not that old. It's just about out of print everywhere.
I got it as part of my Mario Kart 8 purchase.
Yeah.
So we're still sitting there waiting for me to be able to buy a Wii U again.
I did.
I had a Nintendo. Have I said this before? I had a Nintendo 64, and I fucking I took it to tip and gave it to a man in tip. Rather than just throw it in, I just gave it to him. We had a fucking bag and everything, all games in it. Hey man, do you want this? And I'm thinking, nah, fucking hell. I wish I kept that now. It was so
Yeah.
all
So I
games,
actually have a nice little collection of, last generation consoles and before, just kind of building up in this room. Wii, Dreamcast, PS2, PS3, Xbox 360, and then and then I've got fucking DJ Hero fucking decks and Rock Hero or Rock
Everyone's
Band.
got a set of DJ Hero decks now.
Yeah, because they always HMV was always famous for fucking doing them for like £15 at some
I
stage.
think I bought mine at HMV for 2 quid, 3 quid with DJ Hero 2.
That is a much maligned game, that one, and I think it's really quite good for a good couple of nights messing about in. You get
I enjoyed it.
a pretty enjoyable experience, like completely
It just
different
lacked
from
the
Rock
social
Band.
side of it, though, didn't
Yeah,
it?
yeah,
It was
you
very much
kinda sit and do it by
solo or a
yourself.
2-player competitive rather than all 4 of you having a laugh.
I think it
Karaoke
really
style.
suffered from that whole thing. Like Rock Band was bad enough, your wife, your girlfriend would come in and you're playing the fucking plastic guitar or whatever. But it was kind of,
Plastic drums.
at least she was looking at going right. But at least guitars kind of. I can see you're trying to do that whole escapism thing. That's okay. Seeing you're sitting with a pair of fucking fake decks, fucking scratching, and fucking doing whatever else, and your wife goes in and goes, "What the fuck are you doing? What the hell is going on here?" You go, this song was remixed. Hold on, we're gonna mix in fucking Daft Punk in this, and go on.
See, I've never
Terrible.
experienced any of these. Can you play them online, or are they just going to be in the same room as everybody else?
One of the
No,
rock
DJ
bands you
Hero's
could
single
do.
player.
I think one of the rock bands you could play online.
Could you?
You could do competitive anyway. I don't know if you could do
Yeah.
4 of you on the same song sort of thing, but I
Actually,
know you could have sort of guitar battles.
I
And there
don't
might
think
be
you
guitar
could,
hero.
but that would be really quite
Hey,
good.
wouldn't it? Imagine a PC game where we could all we all got a different instrument and we could just all fire up a tune.
Is
It'd
there
be
not
fucking
an
brilliant.
Arma mod for that?
Probably is.
Arma Rock Band? That could be fucking awesome.
There's already Armour Go-Karts.
Yeah, I was
Yeah,
about to say.
That was an actual proper release, that was.
yeah. It's good that because all the money from that they gave to charity. So, sort of
It was
test.
a comic relief type thing, wasn't it? It wasn't a
That's some kind
true
was comic
serious release.
of some kind of some kind of. I think it went to Red Cross or something like that. I think I'm not sure.
Oh, jeez.
When does this new Zelda game come out for?
November, we reckon.
What is it coming out on? Is it a Wii U?
Wii U, Wii U. What we've got before that, we'll have Majora's Mask
Majora's
is the
Mask,
13th for 3DS, and Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate is also out on the 13th of February as well.
So how much is a Wii U at minute? If you're
Oh fuck,
How
Tesco
much
were
is
doing them
that?
for fucking 70 or 84 pounds or something during the week. In fact, it looks like it's probably all done now, but if you go down to your local Tesco, they're cleaning out Xbox 360s.
Yeah, I saw
PS4,
Xbox 360,
PS3s.
500 gig Xbox 360s with 2 games for 80 quid.
Yeah,
Fucking hell.
Vita, they were still doing Vitas for 50 quid and stuff. They were just clearing out all the back stock. So go
I've
down
only
and
bought
see if they've got
TVs.
anything.
I'd get one. I'd get a console just so I could play Madden. I've said this before. It's the only reason I'd get it. I fucking
there's,
really.
The 360 Star Wars limited edition console has been going up for £79 in store.
Bloody hell, that was going for like 500-600 quid at
I
one point.
know, that's what I was looking at today, going like, I absolutely do not need that, but that's a hell of a pickup
Yeah.
for an R2D2 fucking.
Because I almost traded in my Elite for one, and I've still would have to pay about 150 quid on top of it just to get the Star Wars edition.
But do these Xboxes still break all the time?
Not
My,
that
no,
one,
not
because that was
anymore.
the later model. I've got my original. Well, it's actually a Falcon, the second one we got. My Red Ring one still sits in the front door. I can't bring myself to bring it.
I
I
was
had
talking.
6 Xbox 360s. I think only 4 of them
I
were.
was going to say I know somebody that got through 7 of them. That's just
Fucking
fucking.
hell.
It's just
I don't know how
ridiculous,
they
isn't
got
it?
away with that though.
It's
See,
scandalous.
I had to break when they released new updates. Because when they released the new update, which changed the dashboard,
Yeah.
anyone who had the older models used to overheat the graphics card.
Right. Okay.
Because when it was in the menus, that was basically that was the only time the graphics card ever got to cool off.
So
Like on the
if it wasn't
previous
doing that,
dashboard,
then
and
it
they brought out
was-
the new dashboard and it absolutely murdered it. So yeah, I had a couple breakers of that. I had one break where the disk drive just basically stopped ejecting. For no reason. The only way you could get the disk drive to eject was to jam a fork in it, crowbar it up, and then the disk would just force the drive out. The drive still works, but it just wouldn't eject.
Jesus Christ.
So yeah, it wasn't the most well-built console ever.
Yeah. Dan just sticks to the PC, don't you? You just.
I certainly do. I
Do
have
you
no reason.
ever bought a console?
Yes. I've had Sega Mega Drive. I had an N64, PS2.
It was probably Christian's N64, to be fair.
Maybe. And that's where
Actually,
that stopped.
Do you want to talk about build quality? The N64, we had one in our sixth form block at school, and it got left overnight in a sink full of water, and had a load of gunky stuff sprayed in it as well, because I think it was the lowest sink for trying to get it off us because we hogged it all the time. And we took it out of the sink, dried it off, gave it a couple of days, plugged it back in, still worked.
Yeah, I mean, it's legendary, isn't it?
Oh dear. So, on your PC, Dan,
Yes.
what would one play on your PC apart from Skyrim or a Saints Row game?
Apart from Skyrim. Well, we were on the subject of betas. So last night Matt got in touch with me, and he said, Matthew, and he said, do you want to play some Battlefield Hardline beta? So now, of course, it's already had a beta at the end of last year. We had a little bit of a go on it. It wasn't great. We got onto it. I joined Matt and Dave. They were playing together. I was a little bit late, but I joined them. I had already downloaded the game, started it up, and the frame rate was terrible. I thought,
for fuck's sake, yeah.
Oh, let's try updating drivers for the graphics cards. I know that there was an update available, so that took a little bit of a while. And Eric came along. So there were 4 of us there. They were playing, and I was still updating my drivers. And they said, let's go into this new game mode called Hotwire. Oh, what's that? And my drivers just updated, so I loaded into the game, fingers crossed, and it ran perfectly. Not a blip after I'd updated the drivers. Really fast, really responsive, everything you'd expect from a full release game. And we played this, so the gameplay overall is very much like Battlefield, but it's set in sort of a cops and robbers type universe, as you all already know. But this new game mode, they've got other game modes there, like Conquest, which you understand perfectly well, Steal the Money type thing, which is a bit of a sniper's paradise if you're on the team that has to just wait and stop the criminals escaping. But the one game mode I want to talk about, which is brand new, is called Hotwire. Now imagine a big Battlefield map, and cars and vehicles spawn more or less at random. Some at the main bases, but vehicles spawn throughout the game, and they are the control points, much like Conquest. You have to go and take these vehicles, but to claim them as conquest points and to reduce the tickets of your opponent's team, you don't just sit in the cars, you have to drive them around really, really fast.
Right.
So you get in the car and it says accelerate, and you accelerate and you see the bar, claiming your conquest points, and when that fills up, it starts ticking down the tickets of your opponent's team. And your opponent's team can reclaim the tickets or stop you taking off their tickets by destroying your car or killing you from within the car and then taking over the car themselves. So it's absolutely mad. You have to drive around, and of course there are lots and lots of other people on your team and the opposing team driving all the vehicles around as well. And I don't know if I'm describing how fucking awesome this game mode is. Just, you have to drive cars around like nuts, or run around and destroy them, or take them off your opponents.
Yeah.
And it's brilliant. It's fucking awesome. You're just driving around going, oh, holy shit, I need to keep going into this car to get more points to take my tickets off. And, oh, there's someone there. Or, oh, fuck, someone's in a truck. They're going to knock me off the road and blow me up. Or if you're in a truck, you can smash into other people. You can kill people on foot for driving over them. It's great fun. Almost on its own, that game is almost worth the purchase. So, Conquest in vehicles. It's brilliant. All the other game modes work fine. They've got Levolution as well. The one Levolution in the Dust Bowl level that we tried, a massive dust storm just comes across the level, and it's rather than like a building falling down or a boat crashing into an island, the entire level is just covered with a dust storm, and it just makes visibility terrible, noise, bits of debris flying around. It's fantastic fun, you know, when you're playing Conquest. So overall, with the second beta of Hardline already, that is a functioning and purchasable game. Not going to buy it day one. We're thinking, we had a little chat about it. No one's going to buy it day one, going to wait for the price to go down, and we think it will go down quickly. But it's working. And it's so much better than the Battlefield 4 beta and the Battlefield 4 launch. It's working, and it's fun, and it's Battlefield.
The Battlefield 4 beta worked, though. Initially.
No, well, it did initially, and then it started to fail. Yeah, I think, now you talk about it, Rich, I remember. And then the game...
Seems like us having a lot more luck with the beta.
Yeah, but I remember once updating my drivers and it didn't improve anything, whereas this time around, updating the drivers, it just worked perfectly. That was the sole issue.
Ones with Battlefield, they've got an awful lot of making up to do to you.
Yes, they do. They do. I've endured, 15 months of jibes, which I probably deserved, and comments and stuff like that.
Look,
I will not be paying the £400 for Hardline.
Apologise for being excited for a game that you loved the previous version of.
Yeah, but the problem that we had with it, doesn't it? Because I bought the same set of packs that Dan did and paid half the price.
Yeah, you did. Yeah.
And
just not from Origin.
Battlefield 4 for the first time since the first expansion pack came out yesterday.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Played it since
all the expansions are out now.
Yep. And it's still a bit janky.
Yeah.
So what's the chances we'll see a magazine cover saying PC game works on launch, no flaws, no problems, PC game works?
Well, the thing is that shouldn't be a headline.
I know, but it is.
I genuinely think the Hardline will work on launch, but that is purely because there'll be no one playing it.
Yeah, possibly.
From what I've played of it, and I played the recent beta, it's a Battlefield 4 mod that's not very good.
Okay. My opinion is completely different. I
quite enjoyed this initially, the hotwire mode.
Yeah.
And the servers I were on, it just turned into garbage, basically. And
okay.
It's been fun, so.
Fight.
Really.
Yeah. No, fight. Well, I mean, whatever happens, as excited as I am about it, and I'm excited about it because I played the game. It was not on my radar at all. I was just, forget Hardline, not going to bother with it. Having played it, I'm much more excited about it, but I will stay cautious.
Wait to hear others think of it.
Yeah, this is the thing. Under 30 quid, might have a go over that.
What have you seen in front of that, actually?
Really?
Yeah, I think it's 27 on a couple of the key sites. So the legit ones as well.
Okay.
Always in. That's all it took. That was it.
There we go.
Day one, booking a week off work.
My wallet is trembling. Fucking hell.
I haven't been playing too much myself. I've only really been playing Dota and Bind of Isaac extensively. Started playing that Apotheon last night, but nothing any more than a few minutes. The only thing I have been playing is on my 3DS. I had £2.47 in funds. So there was a game on there for £2.50, and I thought, I'm going to add the 3p to my account and buy that bastard, I didn't actually think they'd let me do a 3p addition to my account using the fucking credit card, because I'm sure the credit card fees are more than 3p. Yeah. But they let me. I was really surprised with that, so I did that, and I bought Gunman Clive 2. Did anybody play Gunman Clive 1?
I've heard of it.
It was kind of a weird little game. It was like a very cheap-looking, very kind of side-scrolling platformer thing with kind of like limbo mechanics, whereby expected to die and get through to the end of the quite short levels by trial and error. Realize that there's going to be a fucking guy coming out from behind that barrel to shoot you, and then you go through it again and duck down before he can shoot you, and then pop up and shoot him. So it's kind of that game. And I first played it on iOS. I picked up the iOS version. It was fucking those terrible touchscreen controls on iOS. Nobody likes those. And so the game was a wee bit, I couldn't be bothered with that. So I've seen a couple of reviews of Gunman Clive. it seemed to be that people really, really liked it, especially in the 3DS when it came out there. Lots of people liked the first Gunman Clive and that played it and bought it there, and people were really into that. So I thought, right, it really cost me 3p, because what the fuck else am I going to buy for £2.47 in the Nintendo eShop? I'll give it a go, and I've really quite enjoyed it. I mean, the levels are quite short, but there's also been pretty good variety. I got to fly a fucking, was it an airplane? I got to fly an airplane. That was pretty good. I got to ride on a rhino, I think it was a rhino, as well as jump and shoot, because Gunman Clive is basically just a cowboy figure, and he goes through the world and whatever else, and every kind of 4 stages there's a boss fight. And I was trucking along, and I've hit a bit of a brick wall with a guy that does a charge attack, and I don't know how to fucking beat him, or I can't get the timing down, so I'll have to go back and study to see what tails there are for him for let me beat him. But maybe I'm just too old to play quick twitch games. Maybe I can only get to level 12, and then been near 40. Fuck, I'm screwed. Next game, I don't know. So that's about the only new thing I've been playing, but it's quite good for £2.50. There's a decent bit of variety in there. And like I say, how can you complain for £2.50? It's pretty great. So that is that. And Binding of Isaac, yeah, I've been playing that like Billy O. Still nowhere near catching up with our tone.
How many different achievements has he got now?
He's stupid amount. He's probably stopped playing it, to be perfectly honest. He's probably reached the upper level, although if I was him, he's so close to platinum in that game, and that seems like one of those games that seems really unlikely to platinum. You know, because there's like 170 fucking achievements or something.
178, yeah.
170, like that's just nonsense. Who the hell can get 178 achievements or anywhere near it? Well, I'll tell you, somebody can. Tony's got 155 of them. He's picking 23 to go. That gets freaking.
I've got 18.
Yeah, I have 50 something or other.
No, I only bought it like yesterday though, so
it's a good buy for anybody. There's a lot to unlock in it, and you know, you were saying that you were finding it fairly easy. I remember a stage where I went on a run of maybe 7 in a row where I complete the game every time. Up to the Mum's Heart level anyway. And I'm on a bit of a drought at the moment.
See, I started playing the original one with the Wrath of the Lamb DLC last week or a week before, and I had about 25 runs on it, and I got to the mum once, and I died after killing Mum. One of the other characters was still on the screen, and I couldn't see it.
Right.
And when the thing started popping up for the Mum thing for the cutscene, I ran over it and died. And yeah, it didn't give me the credit for beating her. Damn. But it was weird because the filter had come up, like the red filter had come up over the screen, and that has stayed on it for the rest of the time the game was loaded. So it obviously bugged out because I died after I should have finished it. So, but yeah, going from that, I went to Rebirth and I think I completed it on my 4. I beat Mum on my 3rd or 4th attempt on it, and then I've been on a run. I want to run about 7 or 8 victories after that. So,
I'll obviously how you get on with it a bit further than that, but I just find there's just so much to unlock and do. And as I was saying to you earlier on, the real beauty in that game is when you're putting your runs together, you get to an item room and you go, fuck that, I'm not taking that.
I don't want it. Yeah, because the first sort of 25, 30 playthroughs or whatever, you're picking everything up, you just want to see what it is. Yeah, and you start learning what works with what and what each thing is. And
the really cool ones are the ones that you don't expect to work together. You know, you take it up and then go, holy shit, look what that makes my tears huge. I just fire one tear straight across the screen and everybody dies. Then sometimes you get these perfect storms where it's just the game is unlosable.
Yeah,
completely unlosable. It doesn't matter what you do. Yeah, and you just go.
I think I had one where I had like 6 damage upgrades. I had whichever the demon one is that turns you into like a bat, basically.
Oh, the Horror Babylon one, is that the one?
No, no, this was
Spirit of the Night or Lord of the... No.
It was Lord of Darkness, whatever it was. I picked that up. Yeah. I picked up a load of damage upgrades and a couple of speed upgrades. And I had the Unicorn Horn as well.
Oh, Jesus.
And I think I had the Sacrificial Dagger. So basically all I had to do was go into every boss room, pop the Unicorn, and then just stand next to the boss until it died. And it'd be dead in 5-6 seconds.
That's really great. Like Head of Krampus and stuff, when you get that and unlock that, it's going to be instant death for an awful lot of the bosses. And for boss room, well, there's not so much room for boss rush. Boss rush is quite good, so if you get beat Mom in 20 minutes, you get a chance to do boss rush, which an awful lot of the YouTubers seem obsessed with. But I don't really see the great benefit. I mean,
You get the boss rush, you get the 4 gold chest items, didn't you?
you do well. You get to pick one of them.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
it's
but can't you? If you get, there's a couple of pickups you can have where you can pick two more than one of them, and then you can zoom straight back out of the room anyway.
yeah, you can use your tele pills or whatever,
Yeah.
and that's what I do. But some people want to fight. I beat Bob Fresh once to get the achievement in one of those runs that you just went.
Yeah.
Nobody can kill me here. This is just fucking ridiculous. But aside from that, like it's a great game. Even though the games aren't quick anymore, because you get kind of good at them.
Yeah.
And you're like
Well,
my
runs
games
all
last
sort
for
of
about
40 minutes
45
now.
minutes. That's exactly
Yeah.
40, 50 minutes. But it doesn't matter because the game remembers where you were if you come out of it. So you
Mm.
can go on and have a quick 15 minutes, 20 minutes bite and then come back later and pick up where you left off, even if you shut the game down. I really, really like that feature in both the PC and the PS4 version and the Vita version as well, which I haven't played in a while now, but my Vita's in one of those cooldown modes. It's in the drawer. It's in the drawer.
Yeah, mine gets sold when it gets to that stage. Hence why I bought it.
So that's all that. So I don't know. Did you want to mention your mouth test? Are you still working on that, Dan?
No. I don't want to mention it.
The question is, right? Even if you remove the ribs, you manage to get it in. Do you spit or do you swallow?
I have no idea. I'd probably spit. But I think the real question
Probably?
is for listeners. The real question for listeners is, if you could suck your own penis, would you? Now, this question has been raised more than once in my lifetime, and the answer has always been yes. I mean, fucking come on. Don't be stupid. Of course you fucking would.
I don't think I would.
I don't think I would. Please just you, Dan.
No, it's just me then. Fair
Yeah,
enough.
I don't think I would. I don't know. I mean, it's not something we're going to have to answer for any time soon. But,
You just need to find a man with a ginormous penis and ask him.
where is Aunt anyway?
Hey.
Hey. Oh dear. Oh, I don't know. And on that note, I think that's as good a place to end on as anyway.
Bye.
You can get us on Twitter at MandraRPod, or you can. That's it, really, isn't it? Where can we find you, Christian?
C_Rollinson. How exciting!
Oh, rolls off the tongue.
Rolls up the
Rich.
ROLLINSON.
I'm at Smidgy87 on Twitter.
Much better. Smidgy EY.
Yes.
Smidgy EY. Dan.
Yes, I am at Not a Dr. Dan, because I'm not a doctor.
Not a doctor. So he keeps on saying. Everybody keeps on coming in for medical advice on a weekly basis, though. And we're all still
lawfully
alive.
provide- Sorry, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I said we're all still alive.
Yes.
We're all looking a bit more deformed by the week, but you know, it seems to be solid advice all the same.
Well, like I said, I can lawfully provide pharmaceutical advice.
Ah, there you go. So what drugs can I take without killing myself this week? You should do a recommended over-the-counter drug of the week. I think so.
Oh, God, we don't do much over-the-counter stuff.
What's the best thing I can take? The weather's a bit crappy. You're feeling down.
No, that's
Feeling a bit
you know
run
what?
down.
This is a perennial question. People always take paracetamol when they've got a cold.
Right.
If you are not allergic to ibuprofen, and if you don't have asthma, and if you don't have any stomach ulcers, I always recommend ibuprofen for a cold, mostly because its anti-inflammatory effects are much, much stronger than paracetamol, and a cold is a generalized inflammatory reaction. So if you have a cold and you have no reason not to take ibuprofen, take ibuprofen for a cold. Take 1 or 2 tablets 3 times a day with food, and you will feel much better, much faster than you would with either nothing or paracetamol.
See,
Can you tell me the difference between a box of Nurofen and a box of
Yes.
30 pence ibuprofen?
There is no difference whatsoever. Legally, if a box of tablets contains ibuprofen BP, the cheapest one is the best because they all have to meet the same standards. So Nurofen, cheapest ibuprofen, just get the cheap one.
I know, that's what I've always. Same with Lemsips. People buy Lemsips and swear by them. It's just paracetamol, a bit of lemon flavour, and some caffeine, isn't it?
No, yeah, the cheap,
No, there's.
cheap ones are fine.
What's the phenyl? What's the decongestant? Phenyl.
Pseudoephedrine.
I'm not sure which. You can buy that as well from like Morrison's for buttons as well.
Oh yeah, pseudoephedrine is a drug. I don't know any brands.
The biggest con of them all is fucking hay fever tablets, because you can get the hay
Yeah.
fever tablets for 39p or £6 for 4.
Yeah.
The cheap ones never work for me. I don't know what it is.
No?
None of them work for me. None
The
of
cheap
them.
ones don't work. If I go out and buy the, what was it, £5 for 7 tablet ones, I can take one of them every 3 days and then work a treat. Whereas if I buy the cheap ones, I've got to be popping them every sort of
It's
4
not
or
a
5
problem we're
hours.
having at the moment, hay fever.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
They work for me, but they've just isn't there some new study just come out saying I'm going to get Alzheimer's because I've been taking them for fucking 25 years.
That good old
No
thing.
idea.
Isn't that some new?
It's not really staying, is
Isn't
it?
that some new study just come out that says I'm going to get Alzheimer's because I've been taking tablets
Possibly.
25
I mean,
years?
I could look into it if you want me, Christian, but I wouldn't worry about it. I don't think anyone knows the true
Daily Mail story, is
causes.
That's it.
of Alzheimer's.
You see, this whole thing's going to come about front page of the Daily Mail on well-known podcast, Mandor podcast, which has at least 12 listeners. They say it.
Well, I mean, some
All
people
of
have
those.
linked gut microbes to Alzheimer's, Christian, so don't worry about taking hay fever tablets.
All good, all good. With that, we'll sign off. You can find me at 7 o'clock Shadow on Twitter. But until then, we'll catch you next time.